Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the delete columns to make sorted LeetCode problem. It's actually a pretty simple question on LeetCode, however it's worded very weirdly and difficult to understand, so I'm going to go ahead and break that down in today's video, and I'm also going to show the solution. So let's go ahead and get right into that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into the problem. Start from the top. So we're giving an array of A of n lowercase letter strings, all of the same length. Now we may choose any set of deletion indices, and for each string we delete all of those characters in those indices. Oh, this is already starting off bad. Okay. For example, if we have an array of A with the two strings A, B, C, D, E, F, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and deletion indices of 0, 2, and 3, then the final array after deletion is B, E, F, V, Y, Z, and the remaining columns of A are B, V, E, Y, and F, Z. Formally, the cth column in array sub 0, C, array sub 1, C, so on all the way to the length. Suppose we choose a set of deletion indices D such that after deletions each remaining column in A is in non-decreasing sorted order. Return the minimum possible values of D. Okay, so that was really confusing. So essentially what it's saying is you're given an array, right? And this array is actually, let's think of it like this. So you're given an array, and we'll do the example. So I'll go ahead and go over example 1. You have this array, and in the first row you have CBA, in the second row you're going to have DAF, and in the third row you're going to have GHI. Now your job is to figure out whether or not the columns, so C, D, G, and then BAH, and then AFI, your job is to figure out whether or not they are in sorted order. And then if they're not, so for example, C, D, G is in sorted order, so that one's fine. We'll go to the next column. And then we do B, A, H, but that one's not in sorted order. So what we're going to do is we're just going to increment some value we have that we're going to eventually return. We'll just increment it by 1. And then we'll do the same thing for this column, so AFI, that is in sorted order. So we only had one column that wasn't in sorted order, in which case we would return 1. And in the example, that's exactly what we do. So it looks like we're going to have like a nested loop. It's kind of like the very naive approach, and also kind of the first thing that comes to mind. So what I'm going to do is I want to loop through. I'm actually going to keep that example just so it's easy to visualize. So I want to loop through every single row one by one, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I want to do each column one by one, because I want to compare each column first, and then I want to compare the next column, and then so on and so forth. So I'll do in column equals 0, while the column is less than, and we'll do a dot length of, no, we'll just do a dot length, and then we'll just increment, and then now we want to loop through the rows. So we'll do int row is equal to 0, and while the rows are less than the length of the rows, oh, that's not how you do it. Is that how you do it? No, it's like this. Okay. And we're going to do the length of the rows, and we're just going to increment r. So now we have a nested for loop that's going to loop through every single column. So it's going to go through the first column and then loop through every single row, move to the next column, every single row, next column, every single row, and so on and so forth. So now all we have to do is compare the values. And then, we also need, we'll create a variable called result. And at the end of our function, we're going to return result. Let me make sure I get that. Okay, so we're just going to say, hey, if the string, or if our array in the row, if it's, let's see, char at, so if the array in row 0, we're going to grab its character, and the way we're going to grab its character is going to be based on the column we're in. So if char at C is greater than greater than, excuse me, a sub r dot char at, and then C. What we're going to do, we're going to compare the next row, or I'm sorry, the next column. I should actually have these flipped. No, this is fine. Okay, so if this is true, then we're going to increment result, oops, and then break out of here. And then I believe this should work. Let's go ahead and run it. And we have an error. Oh, I know, basic Java syntax. Just kidding. This one has parentheses. This one doesn't. Cannot find symbol result. Oh, it's called results. Running into a whole bunch of bugs, but what do you? Oh, same thing again. Same thing. Okay. Woo, okay, code worked. Okay, let's go ahead and submit it and see how we did in comparison to other solutions. Whoa, we did awful, but hey, that solved the solution and that was our job. Let's go ahead and resubmit. I feel like we'll get a better test case if we resubmit this. Look at that. Awesome. All right. So cool. That's how you do the delete columns LeetCode problem 944. Yeah. Go ahead and leave a comment if you want me to do another video or a specific problem, and I'll see you next time.